line now. Yeah. All right, hockey fans, let's get you set for today's special presentation brought to you by ParaSport TV. It's the 10-year anniversary of Courage Canada supporting Canadian blind hockey. My name's Nico Cardarelli. I am very pleased to be with you here today on such a special day where we celebrate 10 years of Courage Canada and Canadian blind hockey and the 10-year anniversary of Marc de Montes' Courage Canada quest for the West, where Marc, who is participating in today's game wearing number 6 for Team Red, he rollerbladed over 5,000 kilometers across 5 provinces back in June of 2009 when he started his quest for the West mission. And 10 years later, we're here inside Scotiabank Pond celebrating Marc's incredible achievements and Courage Canada and Canadian blind hockey. For more, let's send it down to ice level where we get some official announcements. All right, hockey fans, let's get you set for the opening puck drop here in this special presentation brought to you by Canadian Blind Hockey in partnership with ParaSport TV. It's the 10th of Courage Canada, and we're just about set for the opening puck drop between the Courage Canada All-Stars Red and the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in Yellow. It should be a banger of a game today, as we've got the with the Courage Canada All-Stars Red team. There are 3 de Monteses on the ice for the team in red, and I'll be curious to see if their coaching staff, led by Paul Rosen, David Black, Paulo Abate, and Frank Fornazier, if they'll put a all de Montes line together or not. So we'll find that out. And for the team in yellow, some players to key in on in this game. Rick Oriold, the crafty veteran. He'll be wearing number 7. Wyatt Harvey, national team player. He'll be wearing number 19. And of course, the Del Grande. We talk about a family affair. It's not a blind hockey game if the Del Grandes aren't involved, as both Wade and Joel Anthony on the bench, and their dad, Joseph, wearing number 10. And Joseph Del Grande will get the start in this game up on left wing for the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. Your starting goaltenders for this one, Mario Ross gets the start in net for the Courage Canada All-Stars in red. And for the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow, Toronto's own Joey Cabral. Well, we're just moments away from the opening puck drop here, as we get you set for the first period of play.
How's it going?
We got Luca de Montes joining us down between the benches. Luca, you're sounding good. We're just about set for the opening puck drop.
Perfect. I'll tell you right now, the energy is pretty good out here.
It's a great crowd on hand as Marc de Montes brings it into the zone early, checking his options. And it looks like that all de Montes line, not quite together yet, but 2 of the 3 out there to start this game, as that shot gets deflected by Sean Dale just wide of the goal. Net comes off its pegs. You know, Luca, you're down Courage Canada All-Stars Team Red bench. I'm curious, why did they not put all 3 de Monteses together? Maybe the national team coach
Come out at one point throughout the game, but yeah, right now we are here live with Paul Cairns. So he's on the bench, usually where he's coaching, but today he's changed in the coach clipboard for a pair of skates, and he's going to be playing in the game. Paul, how you feel?
I feel guys, we're ready to go today. This is going to be a great day today. I didn't start today, but, you know, I'll have to talk to my coach about that.
Well, we appreciate checking in with national team coach Paul Cairns. Luca, great job down there. We'll check in with Luca throughout the day. But Joseph Del Grande puts it in for the opening goal of this game. Oh, what a beauty by Skippy as he buries it. And it's 1-0 for the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow.
There's already some jokes going on here on the red team bench about who's a -1 early in this game.
Well, you're standing defensive course. Any talk about missed assignments there? I mean, Del Grande was wide open on that play. Did you just get ushered out by the referee? As we've got Luca down at ice level. I think he's been banished to the timekeep, but it's 1-0 for the team in yellow, as the action on the ice well underway here in the first period of play. Pass. Cam Williams. Lucas doing some double duty. PA announcing with the goal announcement. The goal indeed scored by Joseph Del Grande, as he's given his team a 1-0 lead here in the first period of play. Here's a break the other way for the Courage Canada All-Stars. Drop back for Matt Shaw. He tries to sweep it towards the goal, but
He is playing in his first ever blind hockey game today, Matt Shaw.
so how did we get him out here for his first game? That's pretty incredible.
Recruiting. We've been recruiting this offseason.
And it's a good point, Luca. If folks want to get in touch, they're tuning into Blind Hockey and he scored at one. What a beauty as he buries it along the far side.
That was kind of fitting that was assisted by Cameron Williams, one of the members of the original Quest.
You know, Luca, can you talk a little bit about the recruiting efforts when you get a chance there? Because obviously we know about the great website, CanadianBlindHockey.com, but you mentioned that recruiting effort has been going on, and if folks want to get in touch with you and get involved, how can they do so?
Well, you mentioned it. The website's a good avenue. Our social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're trying to be as out in the community as we can. So definitely anytime we hear about a player interested and that wants to give it a try, we welcome them with open arms for sure.
We're all squared up at 1 minute into this first period as Rick Oriole takes the puck into the zone for the Canadian Stars. But it's picked up by the crafty vet Oriole. Oriole flips it to the near boards as it's secured by David Cairns. It's wrestled off his stick and shot into the zone by Sean Dale. Chasing behind the goal, Robbie de Montes. He's got for Nazier, makes the pass out front, but that's broken up by Cairns. Held in at the line. Nice defensive play by Brian McLean, who was recently a recipient of an award from George Brown College. We'll get to that in just a little bit as here go the Courage Canada All-Stars back into the zone. Pass back for Dale. His shot goes off the stick of Cairns behind the net, where it's tracked into the far corner by Robbie de Montes. Cleared out of the zone. Here go the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars as David Arrington, president of AMI, unable to make the play across center ice. And it's great to have Mr. Arrington out here for today's game. And of course, we appreciate the continued support of program partners like AMI. Morrow receives the pass along the far wing. He's got Del Grande with him. Makes the pass into his skates, but that's broken up. Nice back checking by Daniel de Montes. Morrow comes up with the puck, centers in front for Del Grande, and that one just goes wide of the near post. Good pressure by the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars, where he's controlled by Robbie de Montes into the offensive zone. Drops it back for Marc de Montes. As actually checked that was Daniel de Montes who dropped it back for Marc. Marc tries the wraparound, but that time it gets snuffed out. Marc usually wearing number 9 when he plays in a game. Today he's wearing number 6, and there's a bit of a reason behind that. Luca, how come Marc's wearing number 6 today?
I'm sure that's something that you two will be able to talk about, as Marc will be your first period intermission guest. So I'll leave his little spotlight to that. But yeah, you've mentioned
oh, great shot. What a goal.
The Whiz Kid from his coach.
Hey, we're giving him a new nickname, the Flash.
Oh, Flash. Watch
Joe
out.
the Flash for Nazier gives his team the 2-1 lead as he buries that shot. What a beauty.
All right, we're going to go live here on the bench with Robbie de Montes then for a little bit.
Love it.
So, Robbie, we're live on air right now. Nico is in the broadcast booth just up top to you. He's got a special question that I'm going to actually ask you.
So, Robbie, we love that you're here today, but why are you wearing number 9 and not Marc?
So Nico's special question was, he wants to know, first off, thanks for coming, and he's loving that you're here today, but how are you lucky enough to get number 9 away from Marc de Montes in his game?
I don't know. I think I actually slipped him a $100 bill before the game to get my number, but we talked about it, and he wanted me to have it, so I guess that's kind of how it happened.
That's awesome. I mean, even in the big leagues, they got to pay for the numbers, so
yeah, they sure do.
Whatever gets it done.
Perfect. Thank you, Robbie.
Great job, Luca. Great job, Robbie, and thank you both for being here and all the work you guys do behind the scenes. Robbie, a longtime supporter of Canadian Blind Hockey. Of course, Robbie has played in the U.S., played for Yale in the NCAA, and we're thrilled to have him on the ice today. But here goes the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars as PJ Power tried to work his way towards the goal. Cleared out, and now Sean Dale has a clear break in. No clean pass, so he'll have to cycle behind the goal all the way to the far corner where he drops it off for the aforementioned Robbie de Montes. Fresh off the interview, They play it over to the near side boards, just out of the reach of Marc de Montes. Randy Banks makes a good defensive play there for the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars. And hey, we've got to give a shout out to Mr. Banks, Randy's father, who's celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Mr. Banks. As the Courage Canada All-Stars move the puck around the zone, wearing those red jerseys, Paul Cairns at the blue line, plays it to the near side wing. Robbie de Montes feathers it down low to Marc de Montes, back to Robbie de Montes, picked off his stick, and it's controlled by PJ Power. Power under pressure from the forecheck of Sean Dale. Beautiful work there by Dale to take the puck away, but Power able to wrestle it back as they try to clear the zone. Banks hits it off the boards, held in at the line temporarily. There's the pass to Dale, and his shot just goes wide of the near post. Around the far side wing, the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars get it out to center ice, where Amanda Provin's skating after it. And it's controlled by Brian McLean. Picked up now by PJ Power. Passed ahead for Provin. She tries the shot and she sneaks it in. Oh, what a snipe from Provin to tie the game at 2. Wow, she's really improved year over year, and she's in a case for a potential spot on the national team one day. Amanda Provin ties this game at 2 with a beautiful snipe. Luca, you're down here with Hockey All-Stars Yellow Bench, and you're with one of the members of Team Del Grande over there. Let's check in with the Yellow Team coaching staff.
For sure. Well, as I said, we are here down on Team Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars bench. Quick word from their coaching staff, Del Grande. We got Wade first. How's it going?
Good, man. You know, just out here celebrating Canada Day the right way. What better than in a hockey rink?
Well said, well said. You know, since that was so well said, we're going to keep it short and sweet with that one.
Thank you.
There you go. Oh, perfect. Also, Nico,
Yes.
real quick, we've got PJ Power and Jason Finestone, two of the individuals that were on the Quest of the West. So, guys, how does it feel to be here on special day, guys?
This is absolutely amazing. 10 years ago, we took off from Western Arena, skated 5,000 kilometers across this amazing country, and to be here 10 years from that point in a beautiful arena with these players is just absolutely incredible.
Perfect. And yourself, PJ, did you ever think in 10 years this sport would grow as much as it has?
I can't say I have. You guys have done a phenomenal job with Courage Canada. I can't believe it's already been 10 years since we got this started. Happy to be here, absolutely.
Perfect, guys. And honestly, thank you very much.
Great job, Luca. PJ and Jason, thank you very much for all your hard work and being a part of the original Quest to the West. Here's a chance. Oh, bar down, beauty. The flash for Nazir lights it up, and it's 3-2. What a goal by Joe, the flash for Nazir.
This kid just has so much skill.
See, and that's why we're changing his name from the Whiz Kid to the Flash. He's got more flash and dash than anyone out there. What a goal by the youngster.
Yeah, you know what? Like, it's funny. If I told you that we actually met Joe a year ago, nobody would believe me. But in 1 year, he's definitely been a huge addition to not only the Ice Owls, but the Canadian Blind Hockey community, as he has also been invited to attend this summer's national training camp.
And of course, we've got that national team training camp happening right here at Scotiabank Pond next month. Towards the end of July, we'll get Canadian blind hockey players from coast to coast to coast across this great country coming together for the national team training camp. For more information, head over to CanadianBlindHockey.com. But here goes Joseph Del Grande streaking up the near side wing, checking his passing options, feeds it over to Oro. That's broken up, nicely done by Greg Mannion on the defensive effort. Banks pinches in from the point. That one's broken up by Matt Shaw. Good defensive play there by Shaw as he picks it up in the near side corner. Checked closely by the streetcar as Jeff Street, one of the national team coaches out there for Team Yellow, picked up here by Marc de Montes. Some fancy stick handling, drops it back, trying to feather it through the slot. That's broken up. Shot to the near side hash marks where de Montes picks it up off the half wall. He has his pocket picked by Del Grande as the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow try clear the zone. Good lead pass ahead for Del Grande. Tracks it to the near corner with 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Morrow tries to chip it out front. That's broken up nicely by McLean as Provin takes possession at center ice. She dumps it in, and it'll be picked up by Paul Cairns in the near corner. Cairns flips it to the blue line where Fornazier, who already has 2 goals in this game, takes it into the offensive zone, makes the pass to Dale, receives it back, goes to his backhand. Oh, what a save! Joey Cabral makes a huge blocker save to keep this a 1-goal game.
That was a beautiful save by Joey.
And you know the Flash wanted the hat trick on that one, but what a great save by Joey.
The yellow team is really pumping him up on this bench after that save.
PJ Power brings the puck into the zone, drops it back for Provin. Her shot deflected by Cairns as he takes control. Paul Cairns plays it in front of his own goal. Good stretch pass. Here goes Sean Dale. He's all alone, but they got to make a clean pass. Fernazier tracking back, tries to give him an option. Dale plays it behind the goal for Fernazier, tries to sweep it out front. Great chance there for Dale, but a huge pad save by Cabral as Joey Cabral starting to step up. And let's check in for a live hit with the yellow team bench.
Yeah, we are here live with Jeff Street. Jeff Street, one of the assistant coaches of the national team. Jeff, how do you feel being here today?
I feel great. Thanks, Lucas. It's been a good time here today. It's a lot of fun with the boys.
All right, we got a question that's coming in from Nico. Nico, anything for Jeff?
Yeah, you know, I'm curious. As a coach, he sees a lot of the game from the bench. He analyzes it. How tough is it to react in real time to the speed on the ice?
Great question. So as a coach, you're on the bench a lot.
Yep.
Today, traded in the clipboard, you're on the ice. How different and difficult is it to adjust playing with these incredible athletes?
These guys are a lot of fun to play with. I think the thing we always try to do on the ice is communicate, whether you're sighted or impaired. Communication is really important. So whether you're on the bench coaching, we're always talking to the guys. When we're out here on the ice, we're always talking to the guys. So that's what we do to try and stay alert on the ice with the boys.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Hope you're having a good time and enjoy yourself.
Thanks, mate. Good times.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Streetcar, as Shannon Murphy has the puck just get away from him. Tough break there for Team Yellow as we've got 4.5 minutes left in the period. Marc de Montes tries to sweep it in front. That's broken up by David Cairns. And here go the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow, streaking up the far wing, led by David Arrington. He centered it for Rick Oriel, but it was just past him. And then the shot by Randy Banks goes into the far corner. Daniel De Montes dumps it down into the near corner inside Team Yellow zone. It's controlled by David Cairns. He gets around the forward check of Wayne St. Dennis. As Joseph Del Grande plays it to Matt Morrow coming off the bench. Morrow tries to chip it back to Del Grande. That's broken up. The Streetcar, Jeff Street, takes possession. Streetcar has played professionally all over the world, including in the United Arab Emirates and in Australia. He's got some great stories of his times overseas.
Yeah, Jeff definitely does have a great hockey resume. One of the main reasons why he's such a great coach and loves being here.
Well, and you know, I think that's something that maybe is understated at times. Not just Jeff, but Paul, Joey Ellie, all our coaches on the national program have such incredible hockey pedigree. It really speaks to the quality of people you guys have gotten on the bench and behind the scenes.
I think it's a credit to the community, you know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to be a part of it. We're the fastest growing sport right now, especially with the growth in America. And you know what? Like, I'd be lying if I said this wasn't hard work. We put a lot of work into this program. Today's a celebration of 10 years, but it's more or less a celebration of the sport growing in 10 years.
And the growth of the sport over the past 10 years has been absolutely phenomenal. I think back to my first national tournament in 2013, and over the 6 years I've been involved, I mean, the quality of play, the growth, the number of players, everything. It's just phenomenal. And yeah, absolutely, it's hard work. And Luca, you and Matt and everybody behind the scenes, you should really celebrate today. It's pretty incredible what you guys have accomplished through 10 years.
Oh, for sure. Today's a celebration, but it's a celebration for the community. You know what I mean? Like, this is a big community from coast to coast, and we're all happy to be a part of it. And, you know, just as Wade Del Grande mentioned, this is Canada Day weekend, and there's no better place to be in Canada Day weekend than in a rink with the Canadian blind hockey community.
That's the voice of Marc de Montes. My name's Nico Cardarelli. Sean Dale rips a shot that gets turned away by to the Courage Canada 10-year anniversary game supporting Canadian blind hockey, presented by ParaSport TV.
Nico, we're going to go live here with Joseph Del Grande. He just needs a quick second after catching his breath there. Apparently his line mate's been pushing him too hard.
I don't blame him. I mean, he's got one of the 2 goals for his team. He's been working hard. Where's the rest of his team to support him, though?
Well, I'll be honest. He's got a tough coaching staff to impress here also as they're criticizing him. But, Joseph, are you good to go? How do you feel, Joseph?
I feel great. It's a great weekend to spend playing blind hockey, I can tell you that.
A shot off the crossbar and in.
Perfect. Actually, Nico's got one question for you, Nico.
I do. It's now 4-2 for Team Red. Joseph, you know, you've been a big part of the community for so long. How special is it for you to be here today and participating in this game?
Perfect. So, Joseph, Nico's really asking you, you've been part of the community for a while now, but how special does today really mean to you?
I've been part of the community since 2013, the first national tournament down at Mattamy Center. This means a lot to me because I'm out here playing a sport that I love to play with people dealing with the same visual impairment that I'm dealing with.
Perfect. Well, Joseph, thank you very much for coming today. I don't want to take too much time away from you. Get this quick little break because it looks like you guys are going to be out there in any second.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming, bud.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Joseph, as the goal scored by Sean Dale makes it 4-2 for Canada All-Stars in red. We've got 20 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. Ooh, big collision behind the goal between a couple of red defensemen, but they're all right. Play continues on, and it's Wayne St. Dennis who tracks it to the near boards. Picked off of his stick by Rick Orield, centered back in front for Orield, but it's cleared out before he can generate a clean shot. Well, the buzzer sounds to end the first period, and after the opening 20 minutes of play, it's the Courage Canada All-Stars in red leading this game over the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow by a score of 4-2. Don't go anywhere, fans. Stay tuned because in just a few moments we're going to have the man of the hour, the man of the day, and I mean really the man behind the original Courage Canada Quest for the West. Marc de Montes will be joining us momentarily here in the first intermission. We'll give Mark a couple minutes here to catch his breath and grab some water, and we'll give you a quick recap about why we are here today, because back on June 27, 2009, a 22-year-old Marc de Montes set skate out west as he departed on the Courage Canada Quest for the West inline skating campaign, where Marc rollerbladed over 5,000 kilometers across 5 provinces as he raised funds in support of blind hockey programming for children and youth who are blind or partially sighted. It was 10 years ago that Marc started that quest, and we are so happy to have him here today joining us from the bench. Marc, can you hear me, buddy?
I sure can, Nico. Oh, the flood's going on too. Must have been scratched up.
Well, you guys were skating pretty good out there, so I'm sure the ice is chewed up a little. First of all, Marc, congratulations. 10 years since your Courage Canada Quest for the West. When you hear that, 10 years ago you set on that mission, what do you think about now, 10 years later?
Oh, I definitely think about how far the sport of blind hockey has come in the past 10 years. It's, I mean, this is a sport that was played for many, many years, since 1972, where most of the country didn't even know they even played it. And I think when, how's it going? I think when we take a look back at how far we've come in the past 10 years with youth programs, I mean, hundreds of programs for thousands of boys and girls across the country, coast to coast, almost every province and territory, to the founding of the national tournament and national teams now. It's grown so much, and I think looking back to that day, June 27, 2009, and that rollerblade from Toronto to Vancouver, it was obviously a big first stride in wanting to get this started, because truly felt that it was time people who got a chance to play the game, who weren't otherwise playing, and I tell you, we're not done there. We're not done yet. We got a lot more to go, though.
You know, Mark, I can only imagine how many special memories and moments that you have from that Courage Canada quest to the West. But, you know, I think one that, or at least an image, a picture that sticks out for me is when you ended up going east and you were out in Nova Scotia and you met this little kid. And I think you know where I'm going with this. So can you tell me a little bit about that moment where you first met Alec Angus McEachern and the special relationship that you two have formed over the years?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's. I mean, we had a chance to do the rollerblade campaigns in 2009 from Toronto to Vancouver, and then in 2011 from Halifax to Toronto. I mean, a lot of youth who were blind and partially sighted who always wanted to play the game, or who were playing the game wanted to play blind hockey. And I met Alec Angus, and it was August 2011. I was just starting my Halifax Toronto inline skate, and he was AMAC must have only been about 10 years old then. And he was a young kid and wanted to play hockey and wanted to play blind hockey, and he started participating in the Courage Canada programs we had out in Nova Scotia, and program after program he started going, and now he plays on the national blind hockey team. And I think it's just proof that you know, there's an opportunity for boys and girls across the country to dream of playing in the national hockey. I'm sorry, to dream of playing in the well, maybe like the National Hockey League, but it's funny. That's how it almost is the National Hockey League to us. So we take it just as serious. So you know, a chance to play for Team Canada, and I think that's what's special about all this. And I'm excited for the next 10 years, Nico. I tell you that. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I've been lucky enough to be involved since 2013. The growth that I've witnessed has been remarkable. You have really been at the forefront of everything, though. Where do you hope the game, sport, the community grows in the next 10 years?
Well, I think now is a time where, you know, it's a great opportunity for Canada and USA to make a call to action to the rest of the world to get ready to lace up their skates, whether it's Russia, Finland, Sweden, whether it's any country around the world, in Europe, any continent. If they want to play blind hockey, now is a great time, better than ever, to really get programs started at a grassroots level, and also to make sure that they can maybe even ice a national team, whether men, women, whoever it is, if they want to play hockey, no matter where they are in this globe. Hockey's hockey. Really, the only difference here is an adaptive puck with a whole lot of passion, and I think that it's time we really start spending the next number of years really spreading the game internationally. Done a great job in Canada over the past many years. A great job USA Hockey's doing, USA Blind Hockey, and now it's time to pack the bags and head to Europe.
All right, two really quick questions, and then we'll let you catch your breath and rest before the next period. You know,
they got me playing center, Nico. I don't know what's going on.
You're doing a bang-up job, although you better give your coach some flack. I expect to see that Marc de Montes line out there at some point.
It'll be happening. I tell you, it'll be happening. They won't know what's going to hit them.
You know, you mentioned the international growth, the incredible work by USA Hockey as well. I want to go back to Pittsburgh last October. You scored the first goal in the international series. You know, with your journey being the founder of Courage Canada, kind of getting the ball rolling and really getting the momentum, and then in October scoring that first international goal, what did that mean to you to have kind of everything come full circle in a way?
Yeah, no, pretty cool. I remember the first shift of the game, I had the puck on my stick too, and I hit the post. I'm gonna get it, and I was like, oh, U-Haul was coming up next. I was like, oh, well, there that goes. He's definitely gonna get it, and I ended up getting back out on the second shift, and I think Serbu left a wrapped the puck behind the net. I had the puck behind the net. I faked one way, went around the other way, wrapped around, and I remember in the intermission, Jason Yuha came up to me and he goes, "Trivia question: who scored the first ever blind hockey goal in international history?" I think that's when it hit me when Yuha did the trivia with me.
That's pretty cool. Mark, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anything you want to say, or any special message that you want to pass along to the viewers?
I don't think we'd have enough time to thank everyone. I mean, from family to friends to the community to everyone here today. I mean, everyone who ever believed in me when I was 22, took a chance on me when I was a young kid just trying to make a difference and trying to do something really no one ever has done. And most people laughed, and a lot of people got behind me. I know my parents got right behind me, my brother got right behind me, and I can tell you this, it's kind of a message to anyone out there who's blind or partially sighted. There's going to be a lot of times people are going to say that you can't do something because of your sight or whatever reason they give, and my story can be one of inspiration for you to keep going in your life hey, keep going, and we'll be all right behind you.
Marc, I can't thank you enough for taking the time here, for joining us, and really for your friendship. I value you, and I want to thank you for everything over the years, buddy. Marc de Montes, the man of the hour. He's got to get back to the locker room because he's going to be back on the ice shortly as his team, the Courage Canada All-Stars in red, leading this game 4-2 over the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. We're going to step away for a quick break. Second period of play coming up as you're tuned in to the Courage Canada 10-year anniversary game. All right, sports fans, moments away from the second period of play. And we want to remind you, you can have your voice heard through our live chat thread. If you're watching on the YouTube page, on the right side of your screen, you'll see the live chat thread. Feel free, let it. And we'll get to a few viewer shout-outs throughout the show. Let's give a shout for the second period of play. Right now, the Courage Canada All-Stars in red leading this game 4-2 over the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. We've got Marc de Montes, who did a great job down at ice level in the first period. He's up here for the second period of play. And Luca, let's just get you to talk a little so we can test this and make sure this works.
Perfect. How's that going? Yeah,
perfect. You can hear me, I can hear you.
I can hear you. This is like we've done this before.
Yeah, beautiful. Old hat is.
Nice. That was definitely a cool approach. We'll be back there for a little bit of the second and the third period. And, you know, I think it's something that we could definitely use going forward with Canadian Blind Hockey.
Yeah, I'm buying some of that wireless gear myself because it's definitely a cool feature to have those bench side interviews during the game. That's something we'll definitely have to keep doing in the future. Speaking of the future, Amanda Provin, she's had a pretty good game so far. She's already scored 1, but her team trailing by 2 right now. It's turned over, and one of the de Montes boys, that's Daniel, or check that was Robbie de Montes bringing it in. Stripped away from him as it's controlled by Cam Williams. Williams plays it down low for Marc de Montes. Marc behind the goal, check closely, plays it back for Williams. Tries to feed it out to Dale. Nice job at the point by Ben Ho Lung to keep it in. Sean Dale at the face-off dot. His shot got blocked by Randy Banks. An attempt. It'll be cleared away by the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. Luca, a pretty good game here. I mean, considering this is a charity fundraiser game, I'm pretty impressed with the pace of play and even the compete level here.
Well, you know, I think in Canada there's really no off-season when it comes to hockey, right? But with that being said, we've got some of the best players, never mind in the country, but in the world that are on display today, right? And we've got a great group of sighted players that are here to celebrate the game. They're having a blast. And you know what? We're just having a great time, and that's all it's about.
Here's one of those sighted players. It's David Cairns. He tries to feed it back to Rick Oriel. His one-timer just goes wide of the near post. Good teamwork there between Cairns and Oriel. As here goes Joe the Flash for Nazier. It's stripped away from him by Oriel. Rick Oriel with the draw pass. He gets it right back from his teammate. Working the far side hash marks. Stripped away. Oriel quickly regains it. As the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars move it out through the high slot. Randy Banks had his shot blocked, and it's shot down the ice where Daniel de Montes gets to it ahead of David Arrington. You know, when you sent out the rosters, I saw David Arrington's name on there. I thought, you know, that's awesome that you guys have him out here once again as Arrington makes a drop pass for Oriel. His shot gets blocked. Arrington was that close to being on the scoring sheet there with an assist, but
well, you know, David's been around since day one.
Yeah,
right.
And that's what I want to get to, the relationship with AMI and that partnership with David.
It's been there from the very beginning, from Brian Perdue and David Arrington and everybody over at AMI. They've been great help since day one. Really had the dream of going across Canada. We had, it's not an easy dream to accomplish, but we had a lot of support and a lot of help from not only AMI, but many other groups. But AMI definitely was one of the big ones, and you know what? It's good to see that they're still a part of it, and nothing better than seeing David out on the ice. You know, it's a long weekend. He can be away at a cottage with the family and all that, but it's great to see him giving back and having fun. And I'll tell you right now, he's played a couple games with the up to this with the season, so he's in good blind hockey shape for this.
Well, he's skating good, as there's a chance from Wyatt Harvey. The backhander just went over top the crossbar. Great pressure right now from the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. Yeah, you know, AMI has been such a tremendous partner, and especially with their increased role in the broadcast at the national tournament the last few years. You know, it's a partnership I think we tremendously value, and we're the broadcast having them there. Guys like Mark Aflalo, that whole team, Andy Frank, the on-air guys from the zone. You know, it's just a tremendous crew, and we're so lucky to have them on board.
Just a quick little note there. That's Canadian Blind Hockey Board member Greg Mann. A little bit. That's not because of the pace. That's just some veteran leadership.
You know, they say that the best players are the smartest players, and I don't think you'll find a player with better hockey IQ than Greg Mann. He intercepts that pass right there, sending it down the length of the ice. Perfect. And you know, Luca, we're lucky to have such a great board as well. Can we talk a little bit about some of the members on the board and what they do to help grow the sport?
Well, you know, we've got a great board. We've got Mark Bentz, Francois Beauregard, and Gary Steves, all players in the community from the Vancouver Eclipse to the Montreal Ibu. But we're really a big team. You know what I mean? Nothing gets decided, or there's no one-man show here. This is a team, and it's a true definition of it. So we have fun with each other. We enjoy each other's company, and there's nothing better than being around a group of guys that love to be around one another.
Jeff Street picks up the puck inside his own zone for the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. He banks it off the boards and to center ice where Sean Dale takes possession.
Message from a certain someone first name Kelly, last name Serbu. He is tuning in on his honeymoon.
I was just going to say, the man is on his honeymoon in Greece. Kelly, for the love of God, enjoy the scenery there.
I had a conversation with him yesterday, and it first started off with, I'm sorry, 3 times. But yes, hopefully you and Patty are having a great honeymoon. Congratulations on your new marriage, and we wish you guys the best of luck, and we will see you guys soon. Nice play by Ben.
Yeah, he's really improved since he's gotten involved, Ben Ho Lung. He's laying his body out. He makes some good defensive plays. And yeah, I just want to echo Kelly and Patty. And we wish you guys all the best. As Sean's inside the zone here for the Courage Canada All-Stars. Centers it. Paul Cairns picks it up. Drops it for Marc de Montes. And then he gets run over by Amanda Provin. The two have a bit of a chat, and then de Montes taps her on the shin pads. Good friends, those two, off the ice as well.
Great friends, everybody on both these teams. That's the funny part. Very rarely do you ever see two teams get dressed for a hockey game in the same room.
I was just about to say that. I don't think I've ever witnessed that before. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was just a little touch throughout the weekend. You know, we want these guys to all feel like they're part of the same team. And at the end of the day, they are. They're all part of the Canadian blind hockey community, and we're very thankful to have all the Toronto Ice Owls out here today, as many are here. So it's a great time. I feel like a broken record saying we're having a blast today, but we really are. And as I look around the crowd, you know, they've got a great group from the beginning who are some avid blind hockey fans. And I got a special group here, and I'll give them definitely a shout out. You know what I mean? We've got our GTA youth program in the house. And when we talk about the next 10 years, these kids are the next 10 years.
Here goes Marc de Montes to the backhand. Great save by Joey Cabral. Yeah, you know, you mentioned some of the GTA kids in attendance. I see Rory McDonald here.
Yeah, we got
He's
Dylan.
playing goalie. Dylan, yep.
Aiden, Chintzia.
That's right, Chintzia was out there for the puck drop.
Yep.
As we almost got a header goal there from Rick Oriel. Puck bouncing off his helmet and nearly went between the pads.
Way to use your head, Rick.
However you get it done, but their team still trailing by 2 with 11:45 to go here in the second period.
It's actually kind of funny. A couple of the GTA youth program kids, this is their home. The Ice Owls are in town for the game, but this is we're here every Sunday, and it's a great program. I'd be lying if I told you it wasn't my favorite. It took us 10 years to get where we are today, and I'm beyond excited for the next 10 years because we've got a group of youth from across this country that are ready to grow and keep moving forward with us throughout the next 10 years.
You know, I've been lucky enough to come out and help volunteer for a couple of those youth Sundays, and I know what you mean, man. It's just so much fun to be out there with the kids, and they're having a blast just being on the ice. It's pretty special what everyone's done here to build the youth program in the GTA, and of course, you know, there's going to be that effort to grow youth programs across the country.
There is, and I'm excited
Yep.
to say there will be a couple new youth programs this year started. So that's going to be a project on itself this coming season, but it's a project that we're all willing to, of course, jump to the task.
Canadian Blind Hockey Executive Director Matt Morrow makes the pass out front, and that one just got away from Wyatt Harvey as he was parked in the high slot ready to unleash our rocket.
And we all know Wyatt Harvey can definitely unleash a rocket.
Yeah, you know, it's been a couple of years between games since you guys put me in net. I ended up playing
and
in
you're
one of
welcome
those
for
games.
that.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, thank you. But I think the last one I played before this year, I had a shot from Wyatt Harvey just whistle past my head. Fly by me, and I thought to myself, I should not be blindfolded in net right now. This is very silly of me. So I have a ton of respect for the goalies who face shots from guys like Wyatt and Mark and Kelly and Jason and guys who can really let it rip. As the shot
that the appreciation factor is at a different level when it comes to something like this, right? And you heard Jeff Street mention it. You were taught to always communicate when we grew up playing the game. So I'm sure they're actually probably respecting the game a little bit more. I know my cousin Daniel just said to me in the change room, man, it's difficult stick handling with this puck. And then, you know what I mean? You go from playing traditional hockey with what we like to call a smaller biscuit to now.
Well, here goes that de Montes connection as Robbie drops it to Mark, and oh my goodness, that was a cannon that just missed the top corner.
And I'll tell you one thing, these two have been looking forward to this game for probably 10 years, if I can tell you the honest truth.
You know, I was wondering when the last time they would canter that trickles across the line, but it's waved off, no goal. Amanda Provin not happy about that. She thought she had her second of the game, but the official waves it off. So this remains a 4-2 score.
Perfect. Yeah, back to your question, Eagle.
Yeah.
That's a good question. You know, like they've grown up together with a very close bond, right? And it all started with a family name but turned into a brotherhood. So with that being said, I know this is something that they've wanted for a long time, and you know, we travel often to watch Robbie play, and those are weekends that we look forward to just for the fact that he's living a dream that we all kind of have, right? With that being said, though, this is probably another dream of his that I didn't think he would he'd get to accomplish, right? But it's amazing to have our company take part in this. They've been huge in from the beginning. Both have been ambassadors with the Hill Academy, where we have our York Region program.
Yep.
So it's great that they're given in a different capacity, and hopefully they need to, and I know they will.
You know, the whole family network you guys have is absolutely incredible. They've both done such incredible work to support you and Mark and help you guys achieve your dreams. As here goes a chance for the Courage Canada All-Stars. Oh, what a save! Cabral stacks the pad and makes a huge save on flash for Nazier.
I love the fact that Shannon Murphy got caught out of play there. His goal bailed out, but Shannon Murphy did not forget to just give a little point to the ref that Joey made the save there. Right? So just making sure the ref saw that.
You know, Luke, I just want to get back to your parents. So can you maybe talk a little bit about what they've done over the past 10 years, the sacrifices they've made to help you guys achieve these goals?
They put up with me and my brother, so that's a compliment right there. That's what that said. Like, they're our biggest fans, right? They're our biggest supporters. They're our biggest critics. Yeah. But they're your mom and dad, right? And that's what they're there for. They've been there from the beginning. I'll never forget that time during dinner at the table when Mark told everybody that he was going to rollerblade across the country, right? And Mom thought he was crazy. Dad thought he was crazy. But being parents that they are, they were there for him every step of the way. Right. From late night conversations on the phone to FaceTiming.
Oh, what a goal! Rick Oriel buries it, and it's 4-3.
And when Rick scores, he could score in bunches.
Yes.
All right, so that's got to be something for the red team to take a look at.
He is a crafty vet, and he's got the nose for the net. Rick Oriel makes this a one-goal game as he buries that one past Mario Ross. So the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow now trailing by 1. The score 4-3, and they're pressing once again for offense. As David Cairns has it along the near boards. Chips it back to the line where David Arrington holds it in. Arrington dishes it off to Jeff Street. Street makes the pass to Oriel. He tees up a shot, but that gets blocked by Wayne St. Dennis. And here goes Robbie, check that, that's Daniel de Montes. He makes a drop pass for Marc de Montes. I gotta say, Robbie and Daniel, very similar in their physique, their style of play. It's tripped me up a few times here today.
Yeah, that'll happen. Oh.
There's a shot right on. Big save by Mario Ross as he shuts the door on Rick Oriel.
For sure, though. But at this moment, Nico, I just want to thank you guys for being here. Like, I look to my left, and, you know, I see Phil Dixon, who has been here since day one. I remember when Mark mentioned everything about Courage Canada and what he was doing. You know, Phil's like, well, I've got a camera. Let's shoot it, right? So Phil's definitely been there from the beginning. And, you know, Nico, you've been there just as long, right? So it's definitely fitting that we're all together on a day like this to not only enjoy this game and celebrate it, but to make a toast to the next 10 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we're so lucky to be here. Personally, I feel so fortunate to be As there's a shot right on and they score! Deflected. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was a sighted player who put that in, and I think there's a bit of a challenge from the Team Yellow coaching staff here.
So actually, we can't really watch the replay
Well,
right
here we
now.
go.
So it looks like
Cairns has it.
And I'm looking at Dale's stick. And
Yeah,
there it is.
oh yeah, you're right. Dale's the player there to tip it in, so that's a good goal. Sean Dale gets his second, and 5-3 for the Courage Canada All-Stars in red. Well, I was saying I feel really fortunate to be a part of the program, and I truly appreciate every opportunity you guys have given me and to be a part of things. And now with ParaSport TV up and running, my new venture, I'm really excited for the next 10 years as well. And, you know, I think it's without a doubt that over the next 10 years, we're going to see blind hockey in the Paralympics.
Well, hey, that's the goal, right? And it's well on its way. You know what I mean? We've got a couple of Americans tuning in, and I'm excited to let our community know that we will have some attending our development summer camp this summer. So they're coming here. They want to learn the game. They want to go back home with the tools that we're going to teach them to begin starting and one day preparing their national program.
That's really amazing news. That is so incredible. I know we've been trying to get Rush on board for a while, so that's absolutely fantastic. As there's a centering pass just out of the as he nearly tapped that one in. It's 5-3 right now for Mark's Courage Canada All-Stars in red. As Luke, so much for joining us up here. We're going to let you back down at ice level, and we'll catch you over there in, well, I guess in the third period, because there's only 2 minutes left here in the second. Luca, thank you for everything.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me, and let's see who we can get for the second intermission, a little guest.
All right, we'll let Luca get back down to ice level as he plays Pierre Maguire between the benches today, and we appreciate him doing so. As we're trying some new technical things here with our ParaSport TV broadcast today. As there's another shot right on, which Cabral turns away. And with that stoppage in play, let's get to a few of the viewer shout-outs coming in on our live chat thread. Let's give a shout-out to Jana, who's watching in Utica and cheering on Joey. So you got to think she liked that last save. Let's also give a shout out to Brody, as Brody McKenzie is watching from Poco today. A big shout out to Vancouver Eclipse Wade Shepard. Wade, I'm looking forward to catching up next month when you're down here in Toronto. And a big shout out to the other ST Dennis, Gary St. Dennis, tuning in from Windsor. And we appreciate you checking it out today, Gary. We miss you here, but thank you for tuning in. David Arrington tries to keep it in at the point, wrestled away by Sean Dale as he works up the near wing. Dale makes the pass ahead to Fornazier. His stick lifted by Street. Fornazier tries the wraparound, but that's blocked nicely as David makes a defensive play. They try chip it up to Rick Oriel. That's broken up. 35 seconds remaining in the period. Daniel DeMontis makes a good lead pass for Sean Dale. He chips it into the zone, but that's broken up by David Cairns. Nice job by Daniel DeMontis to anticipate that. He holds the line, but just as quickly, Cairns chips it out to center. 15 seconds left in the period. Arrington working up the wing. His pass picked off by Paul Cairns. He checks the clock, sees there's under 10 seconds to go. He's got Daniel DeMontis with him, makes the pass. DeMontis tries to feed it over to Fornazier, but the buzzer sounds, and that'll do it for the second period of play. So through 2 periods of play, it's the Courage Canada All-Stars in red with a 5-3 lead over the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. Third period of play coming up momentarily, but stay tuned as we're anticipating an interview here in the intermission. And we're hoping to be joined by Canadian Blind Hockey's Matt Monroe. But so far here at the Courage Canada 10-year anniversary game, it's the Courage Canada All-Stars in red with a 5-3 lead over the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. Had the opportunity to meet Bernice Carnegie during the first intermission, and she had a very interesting story about the origins of the name Courage Canada. We'll get to that in a little bit. And if the last name sounds familiar, it's because her father, Herb Carnegie, you may be familiar with his story. He was a minority player in the NHL. He ended up losing his vision and was blind for the last 25 years of his life. So you know that hockey was special to Herb, and certainly people dealing with vision impairment would have been close to his heart as well. And Bernice is telling me that she's got this great picture of her late father and Marc de Montes standing together wearing one of the first ever Courage Canada jerseys. We'll have to track that down if we can at some point and post that on social. But a really tremendous woman from a great family, and we're so appreciative of her father's efforts and, of course, the efforts of people like Willie O'Ree, another minority NHL player, the first black hockey player in the NHL, who also dealt with vision loss. He played his NHL career blind in one eye, and we appreciate the efforts of ambassadors like Herb, the late Herb Carnegie, and Willie O'Ree, and everybody who helps to grow blind hockey as a sport. Well, we were hoping to get a second intermission interview, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to happen. So in the interim, we're going to step aside for a brief moment. The audio will pop down, so it'll be silent for a moment or two, but the picture will stay running. The live stream is still up, and we'll set the mics live again just before the period. My name's Nico Cardarelli. You're tuned into the Courage Canada 10-year anniversary game in support of Canadian Blind Hockey, presented by ParaSport TV.
Hockey time.
Well, a big thing. Our summon Courage Canada 10-year anniversary game celebrating Canadian blind hockey. I think I may have to keep you up here. You did a pretty good job. There's a shot from distance right on, and a good save by Mario Ross. It's just 10 seconds into the period. The Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow, trailing by 2, get a great goal-scoring chance. Joseph Del Grande, his shot trickles just wide of the far post, and then the net comes off its peg. So we'll get stoppage 28 seconds into the period.
Nico, how's it going up there?
Luca, pretty good. Young broadcaster up here who might take your role as color commentator.
Young Annabelle's got a break.
Good job welcoming us back into the third period. As we're underway here in the third, 1 minute gone as Shannon Murphy tracks the puck. Luca, you're down there with the Courage Canada All-Stars red bench. Who do you have in front of you there?
Yeah, I'm here on the bench actually with Ice Owl player Wayne St. Denis. So Wayne, we're live right now. Anything you want to say to anybody?
Oh, it's great. 10th anniversary, Courage Canada. Everybody's having a good time. Looks like everybody's playing hard out there. A lot of fun.
Perfect. It does look like everyone is playing hard out there. Nico, you got anything you want me to ask Wayne?
Yeah, absolutely. Wayne, first I want to thank you for all your hard work with the Toronto Ice Owls. And if there are folks in the GTA that want to get connected to the Ice Owls,
we seem to be losing connection up top with Nico. But Nico, I'm sure you would like me to ask you this one thing. Over the last 10 years, you've been along for the whole journey, Wayne.
Yep.
How excited are you to see the next 10 years?
It's very exciting. Since been playing blind hockey, I just enjoy seeing the young guys come out, and the future's bright with all the young hockey players. And us old guys, I keep it moving.
There you go, bud. Well, it looks like you're out there soon, so keep it moving.
Awesome. Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Wayne. Great job out there, guys. As Wayne's team leading 5-3 here in the third period. We're getting some great comments on the chat thread as well. We'll get to a few shout-outs in just a moment as the pass from Cairns just goes off the stick of Fornazier and wide of the goal. Daniel de Montes working behind the net. He's checked closely by Jeff Street. de Montes comes away with the fit. He centers it back to the point where Ben Ho Lung wrestles it off the near boards. Chips it ahead for de Montes. Centered for Fornazier. He smacks it right on goal. And a good save that time by Joey Cabral. Streetcar rips it around the boards. Tries to clear it out. As it's in the near corner. Battling away for it, Sean Dale and Randy Banks. Here goes Robbie de Montes. Check that, that's Daniel de Montes. He drops it back for Sean Dale. His shot right on. Big save by Cabral. The Rington tries to feather it back for Oriole. Oh, what a beauty! Slick Rick gets it done. His second of the game. And he draws this within one. What a beautiful one-timer. Rick Oriole buries the pass from David Arrington, and it's 5-4.
Nico.
Yes, Luca.
We are back.
Awesome.
In between the benches, and we're going to get a quick little word with Paulo Abate. Little history about Paulo. Paulo was with us on the first ever Quest of the West. Paulo was with us from Halifax to Toronto, an original board member, and a lot of this would not be possible without Paulo and his contribution to the very first Quest of the West.
Well, thanks, Luca, for those nice compliments. It's been an honor. It's been amazing. It's been a privilege to assist Marc with his idea over 10 years ago and to be here today. Helping with the door at the game and being the assistant coach.
Hey, you've got a very important role. Paulo, it's our 10-year anniversary. 10 years ago when Marc approached you and said, I'm going to rollerblade across Canada, what did you think?
Just do it. I said, I'll be there. I think it's a great idea. I thought it was a phenomenal way to raise awareness. And, with a limited budget at that time and really a grassroots effort, I thought it was the best way to get the word out.
Now 10 years after, we're here celebrating this day, and the game is played now across Canada and USA, and it's growing with other countries in the world interested in starting blind hockey programs. If Marc never went on that cross-country journey and the community never grew, do you think we would be here today?
No, not at all. Marc created the spark that this sport needed to really get going. He created the momentum to move this forward, and I'm so glad that he did. There's so many lives that have been touched, young, old. I've been across the country with Marc. I've seen the inspiration he and the program gives to especially young people who are maybe getting on skates for the first time, playing hockey for the first time, and see Marc as a role model, and he is. And that's what truly touches me. And it's just incredible how far this organization has come.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Paulo.
Great stuff, Luca. Paulo, thank you very much for taking a moment to speak with us, and more importantly, thank you for your efforts over the past 10 years supporting Marc, Courage Canada, and Canadian Blind Hockey. As we've got a bit of an injury behind the net there, and Joseph Del Grande a little slow to get to his feet, but he's a tough customer, and well, we hope that it's nothing too serious for Joseph. We got to look at a bit of the crowd there. Is Aiden, one of the GTA youth participants. He's pretty excited to be here today as he's been jumping up and down and waving his hands, and I know Aiden's having a blast here today. As a nice round of applause for Joseph as he's able to get back to his feet.
Well-deserving round of applause. Little Skippy's got everybody on his side here.
He's already got a goal in this game. He's got two of his boys on the bench with him. Now, it's not quite a blind hockey event unless it's a Del Grande affair. Let's get to a few of the viewers' shout-outs that we're getting. Let's give a shout out to Laura Marks, saying she wishes she could be down here today, but hopes that everyone is having a great time. And let's also give a shout out to David Brown, who's tuned in. He's working right now, but wants to pass on his congratulations to Marc and everybody in the Canadian blind hockey community.
Nico, I'm here now on the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars bench, and we're here with David Arrington from AMI. David, how's it going today?
It's good. It's a competitive game. Down by one. We gotta work hard and make this up.
David, you've been here from day one, 10 years ago. How's it feel to celebrate this day with Courage Canada, Marc?
It's fun to see the way the sport's growing. I'm amazing. Really happy. Thanks.
Perfect. David's going to get out there for a quick shift.
He's got to get on the ice. I was going to ask him a question or two, but he'll have to wait.
Yeah, I know.
He's a busy man with big responsibilities.
Well, Rick and Randy Banks, they were really pushing him to hurry up. We got to go. We got to go.
Randy Banks getting a shift here on left wing. He does well to advance the puck ahead off the draw. As tracking back for it is Brian McLean. I mentioned earlier that Brian McLean recently received an award from George Brown College, and I'm going to try get the name here. It is a mouthful, but it is
great school.
Yeah, completely unbiased opinion there from Luca, who is a former Husky himself. But yeah, Brian got the George Brown College Sport Management Alumni Achievement Award for all his work in the sporting community around Toronto. Congratulations, Brian. A really great achievement for you.
Well deserving. Nico,
yes.
We got another special guest here. We're with Wyatt Harvey from the Canadian National Blind Hockey Team. Wyatt, how's it going today?
Pretty good. Just trying to knock the cobwebs out, taking it period by period. We're down by one with like 10 minutes left, but we have time to make something happen.
Definitely. Wyatt, for someone like yourself, I know a little bit about the story, but you were lucky enough, and Mark was very lucky to meet you in Peterborough on the quest to the West. How did that feel 10 years ago and now being where you are today?
Well, it felt totally amazing. Mark is the reason why I got into blind hockey. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing hockey right now.
Perfect. Now, you and Mark have celebrated a couple different memories together. How did it feel to celebrate a golden moment this past October?
Honestly, I wasn't even sure I was involved in the goal until afterwards when I read the news clipping about it. I went off the bench and he scored.
Oh, what a goal!
Oh, and you hear some celebration coming from the bench here of the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars. It's a tied game right now.
Slick Rick Oriole gets his third of the game and ties this one up at 5. What a goal. A great job by Luca on the bench there of the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars as they tie this game up at 5. And we appreciate Wyatt Harvey taking a moment to catch up with us. Wyatt, part of the national team program, a really great young man and a proud resident of Peterborough. He represents that community very, very well. And we are so happy to have Wyatt as a part of the program. And it was pretty cool to hear how blind hockey and how Marc de Montes have impacted his life. And that's really the legacy here over the past 10 years, is not only growing the sport, but how it's helped to change so many lives in such a positive way. But in this game, we're all tied up at 5. What a barn burner. We got 9:40 left here in the third period as Paul Cairns skates it out across center ice. He's got Marc de Montes trailing him. De Montes receives the pass as Shaw parks in the high slot. De Montes tried to dance his way out front, but that was broken up by David Cairns. Amanda Proven backhands it up the ice, where it's controlled by PJ Power. Power gets it back to Proven. She cuts towards the goal, tries to get the shot. Loose puck. They can't scoop it towards the net, and finally it's secured by Paul Cairns. Good lead pass for De Montes. Cairns, De Montes. De Montes shoots. What a save by Cabral.
Cabral's making some big saves to keep Team Yellow into this game at a tie score.
He's gotten better and better as this game has gone on, and that far side, the blocker side, he's really shored that up here today.
I'm sure he'll give a lot of credit to goalie coach Joey Ali because his fresh new gear.
He will not stop talking about those pads, and Joey, you look real good in those pads. Yes, sir. Here goes Paul Cairns for the Courage Canada Blind All-Stars in red. Makes the pass back, intended for Fornazier, but here goes Joseph Del Grande. He's got Matt Morrow streaking up. Morrow can't receive the pass. Beautiful back check by Cairns to lift the stick. Morrow's pass for Harvey. That's broken up as it's controlled by Cairns with 8:15 left in the period. Paul Cairns getting checked closely by Wyatt Harvey. Drops it off, nearly connected with Wayne St. Dennis, but he just missed on that shot attempt. Jeff Street brings it into the zone.
Looks like he's playing defense now. I wonder if the Del Grande coaching staff made a little change there.
It seems like we've had a little bit of line movement from both teams throughout this game, as here goes Joe the Flash Fornazier into the zone. Tries to feed it over to Robbie De Montes. That got broken up, as now Streetcar makes the lead pass for Wyatt Harvey. Controlled, and a good pass ahead for Fornazier from Robbie De Montes. He makes the pass to Wayne St. Dennis. His shot off the half wall nearly fooled Cabral, but he got the paddle down to make the save with 7:20 to go in the period.
We're going to get a quick interview here after that shift from Matt Morrow, Executive Director of Canadian Blind Hockey. We'll give him a quick minute to catch his breath, and then we'll ask him the hard-hitting questions.
I want to know what's tougher, running Canadian Blind Hockey or playing in a Canadian Blind Hockey game.
All right, I'll make sure to ask him that question for you. Matt, how you feeling?
Oh, a little out of breath, but we're having a good skate out here.
All right, first question in from Nico. What's tougher, running Canadian Blind Hockey or playing in today's game?
Well, both have their challenges. Certainly, working on the fundraising and administration side of the charity is always our biggest challenge, so we are eternally grateful to all our sponsors, donors, and supporters. But today's game's been a pretty good, hard, fast skate. We got some members of the Canadian national blind hockey team out here.
Sean
And,
Dale
what a
shoots
beautiful goal
and
by Sean Dale.
scores!
Absolute top cheese. Joey had zero chance. Now my team's going to have to come back because we're down by 1.
Matt, you've been around from day one, 10 years. The sport has grown to heights and measures that we would have never have imagined. Where do you see the next 10 years?
Hopefully the next 10 years culminates with the Paralympic Games. I think, we've brought the sport to the U.S. We had the first ever Canada versus USA International Blind Hockey Series. We've got coaches from Russia coming over to our summer camp who want to start their own national team. We have a group in Finland that wants to start a team. And of course we have Nathan Tree, our Brit, who comes over to all our events, and he's trying to start a team as well. So I think we're pretty close to a World Cup, and then hopefully a World Championships, and then ultimately apply for inclusion in the Paralympic Games.
Well, one thing I could tell you, Matt, is this game is being watched right now in 3 different countries officially, Canada, USA, and England. So the sport is growing, and get out there, have a good rest of the game, because your coaching staff looks like they're about to shorten the benches a little bit.
Well, they're shortening the bench. I should probably be glued to it. So thanks, guys.
That was Matt Morrow.
Awesome stuff, Luca. Matt, thank you so much. Guys, thank you for all of your work behind the scenes. Luca and Matt really do lead the way for the administration side, and we can't thank them enough for all their hard work growing the sport of blind hockey. And Matt, thank you for taking some time there on the bench to join us. As Matt's team, the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow, trailing by 1 right now with under 5 minutes to go in the third, as Matt Shaw tried the one-timer, but that just went off the toe of his stick and wide. Here go the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow as PJ Power brings it into the zone, drops it back. Trying to cut his way in front was Jason Finestone, but it's broken up by Paul Cairns as he skates it across center ice. He's got Fernazier with him, makes the drop pass to Fernazier. He's forced wide by Jeff Street. Played behind the goal for Fernazier, tries to work his way out front, that's broken up. And here goes Power with 4:10 left in the third.
Nico, I just got a special message from the Del Grande gang. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, but they got the whole crew at home tuned in, watching this game, cheering on Papa and their daddies, Joel Anthony and Wade. So the girls are all at home watching, and they want to say good job, Papa.
Well, a big shout out to the Del Grandes. We love that family and thank them for all their continued hard work in support of Canadian blind hockey. As that shot from Wyatt Harvey just went wide, as Joseph Del Grande out there as well on this line with Wyatt Harvey. And now Matt Morrow back out on the ice to join them. Del Grande makes the pass ahead for Morrow. Morrow gives it back, who then receives the draw pass from Del Grande. Morrow plays it back to Street at the point. He chips it towards the goal, but that one's blocked. Del Grande fishes it out of the near corner, tries to center it, but it's broken up by Wayne St. Dennis. Held in at the line by Jeff Street, makes the pass over to Wyatt Harvey. Harvey shoots, and that one gets blocked fearlessly as Greg Mannion got a piece of that to deflect it wide. Under 3 minutes to go in the third period, as the team in red, the Courage Canada All-Stars, leading this game 6-5. Drop back to St. Dennis as he tries to sweep it in front. It goes over to the far corner. Shannon Murphy tracks it. As Murphy tries to pin it against the wall, it's picked up by Robbie de Montes. He tries to center that one for St. Dennis, but it's broken up as Del Grande takes possession. Joseph Del Grande gets past the first defender, but his pocket gets picked as Robbie de Montes has to turn back inside his own zone. Again, some great comments on the live chat thread, but here goes Marc de Montes bringing the puck into the zone. Drops it back for Paul Cairns. 2 minutes left in the third. Cairns tries to put it on a tee for de Montes, but it's blocked and then just cleared out across the line. Rick Oriole, he's got 3 already. His team trailing by 1. They're going to need more. Centered in front. Oh, what a save by Mario Ross as he just gets the door shut in time to make the save on slick Rick Oriole.
That's a big save with under 2 minutes left.
Well, we're getting some great comments on the live chat thread. Let's give a shout out to Dave Poitevin, the Toronto Ice Owl, who's watching today's game on the water. He's in a boat watching today's game.
There you go, Dave. Beautiful
Talk
day to
about
be on the
style.
boat, but you know what? It's a better day to be in a rink.
You got that right, Luca. And as the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars move the puck around here, it's cleared out across center ice. Luca, one of the things I want to get to is the fundraising efforts. And we'll mention that in just a moment here as David Cairns tries to clear it away. If folks want to make a donation, if they want to get involved, how can they do so, Luca?
Definitely. They can go on our website, CanadianBlindHockey.com. There will be a link that leads you to our Canada Helps page. We've got a goal. 10 years, $10,000. This money is going to go help the international growth. It's going to help programming. It's going to help getting our Canadian youth on the ice and letting them dream of one day putting on their nation's jersey to participate in the Paralympic Games.
Fernazier shoots and scores!
And there's one of the youth that will be wearing that jersey in a couple years.
And Joe the Flash Fernazier gets the hat trick, and that's the insurance marker to give his team a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, but you know, Nico, fundraising goes a long way with us, right? Fundraising, corporate partners, sponsorship, all the money helps. It helps these programs. It helps making these events as successful as they've been. So definitely, please log on to our website, CanadianBlindHockey.com. That'll lead you to our Canada Helps webpage where you could donate. All donations will receive a tax receipt. So definitely, please log on and let it be known that any donation, doesn't matter the size, is very appreciative.
Absolutely, very well said, Luca. We are here to celebrate 10 years of Courage Canada and the 10-year anniversary of the Courage Canada Quest for the West. And Courage Canada has since evolved into Canadian Blind Hockey, and we're so happy to be here today. And the next 10 years, equally as important as the past 10 and the growth that we anticipate over the next 10. And speaking of growth, let's give a shout out to our friends from the Nova Scotia Sea Kings, including Jillian Stewart, who's watching in Halifax. That's one of our newest programs. And Luca, they've done a great job growing that program out in Nova Scotia.
Oh, they've done an incredible job. I was lucky enough to be out there a couple weeks ago to help out with that program. So they're in good hands. The future's bright for them out there. Actually, you know what? Real side note, I'm taking a quick glance on the ice, and it looks like we've got, this might be, the first time today.
Goalie.
We've got a pulled goalie, but we've also got a full Ice Owl reunion on the ice right now. So all 11 players are from your Toronto Ice Owls blind hockey team. This is a little great respect moment from all the sighted players, taking a break, and definitely they'll have some stick taps for this group.
Very well spotted, Luca. You're absolutely right. All the players here for the first time today from the Toronto Ice Owls, all the players on the ice visually impaired, and with the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow trailing by 2 and under a minute to go, they pull the goalie to get the extra attacker on the ice.
I might have to go tell Joey Cabral that this was just a business move, a tactic to get an extra player out there. He might take this to heart.
Hey, if you go over there, make sure you let him know he made some quality saves. They may have gotten a few by him today, but he made some stellar saves.
Oh, he played great today.
Absolutely.
Both goalies, Mario and
Yes,
Joey, you know, they're two tough goalies in this community to beat. So that's why you always see a little bit of a celebration when they do beat them.
Blinky doing a great job for Team Red, and Joey, who had played for Team Yellow. 37 seconds left. There's the empty netter, and it's in. Marc de Montes takes the shot. It got redirected, but they're going to give Marc credit, and de Montes gets his second of the game, and that'll all but do it for the scoreboard. It's 8-5 for Team Red, and a nice goal there for Marc de Montes. Matt Shaw getting a shift here for Team Red. I've been really impressed with him today in his first ever blind hockey game.
You can tell he's played the game before.
Yes. He's got some good IQ. He understands the game for sure. And he makes a nice play to bring the puck into the zone. Shaw drops it for de Montes, but hits his skate, and it'll be cleared out by Rick Oriole. Annabelle, you want to take us home here for the final 10 seconds?
Good play, Sean.
Thank you for watching. We hope you like blind hockey.
Well, the final buzzer sounds. Annabelle, thank you for your help today. You did awesome. You can come up here and call the game anytime you want. The final score in this one, the Courage Canada All-Stars in red victorious 8-5 over the Canadian Blind Hockey All-Stars in yellow. But the score secondary to the celebration here today, as it's the 10-year anniversary of the Courage Canada Quest for the West. And we get a nice close-up there of Marc de Montes, the man behind that original movement, as Marc 10 years ago rollerbladed across 5 provinces over 5,000 kilometers, helping to raise funds and awareness for visually impaired youth across Canada and getting them into hockey. Marc, congratulations. Congratulations to everybody who participated in today's game. And for everyone who tuned in online, thank you so much for watching our live stream today. Today's game, the Courage Canada 10-year anniversary game supporting Canadian Blind Hockey, has been brought to you by ParaSport TV. Well, we're going to stick with this for just a couple more minutes, as we may have some post-game ceremonies on ice. We'll find out momentarily. Again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in today. The archive will be available on the Canadian Blind Hockey YouTube channel, and we'll have it up on ParaSport.tv as well. A great job by both coaching staffs today. The coaches from Team Yellow, Joel Anthony Del Grande, Wade Del Grande, and Ted Moritzagu. Your Team Red coaching staff was led by Frank Fernazier, along with David Black and Paulo Abate. Well, the two teams will line up in front of the sponsor boards, and we'll get some post-game pictures. A great moment here celebrating 10 years of Courage Canada. 10 years ago on June 27th, 2009, a then 22-year-old Toronto Ice Owls blind hockey player named Marc de Montes departed on the Courage Canada Quest for the West inline skating campaign, as he rollerbladed over 5,000 kilometers across 5 provinces to raise funds in support of blind hockey programming for children and youth who are blind or partially sighted. 111 days later, Marc arrived to a hero's welcome in Vancouver as he celebrated the completion of his fundraising campaign with a blind hockey game with the Vancouver Eclipse. That campaign changed the landscape of blind hockey in Canada, as for the first time ever, we had funds to put on life-changing blind hockey programming for children, youth, and adults who are blind or partially sighted. We can't believe it's been 10 years already, but with your support, we have run hundreds of programs for thousands of Canadians who are blind or partially sighted. From the boys and girls as young as 4 years old who tried skating for the very first time, to the youth who learned to play blind hockey at our summer development camp, to our elite athletes on the Canadian Blind Hockey National Team, our entire Canadian Blind Hockey family thanks you for your support. Executive Director Matt Morrow with the last words. And we want to thank you for tuning in. Please support our Canadian Blind Hockey programming at our Canada Helps page, and make sure you check out CanadianBlindHockey.com for all the latest news and info. For our great crew behind the scenes, for our fantastic cameraman Phil Dixon, my name's Nico Cardarelli. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time, as this has been a special presentation of Canadian Blind Hockey. It's the Courage Canada 10-year anniversary game presented by ParaSport TV. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have yourselves a great Canada Day weekend.